Okay, so tomorrow y'all are going into metric links, which are much simpler. I hope you watched the customary video. If you didn't, I highly encourage you to go back and watch it first, because if you really want measurement to connect with the students, you've got to connect the customary and metric units together. And to do that, it would be helpful to be using the notes from each video, especially since I'm giving you like sizes and tips on how I taught it. That way it'll connect like on papers that they're doing. So before I start metric, I review. So yesterday, what did y'all, what system did we talk about? Let's pull out our star charts. And what system did we talk about? The customary. Say customary. Okay, how do we remember customary as ours? Yes, it says US for United States. Very good. Okay, what's the smallest unit in the customary system? The inches. Can y'all show me an inch? Good, I see some of you giving me an inch, and then I would show them the inch, the knuckle. Okay, so that's about 1 inch. And we could line it up with our ruler, and I would not use the centimeter ruler. Flip to the other side of the star chart and show them 1 inch on the ruler side. All right, inches turn into feet. 12 inches is 1 foot. What can I grab in this classroom that's a foot? Yes, a ruler. Very good. So I'd hold up a ruler. All right, how many inches are on a ruler? 12. So 12 inches, this is 12 inches, or you could say 1 foot. And look, a foot would be good for a computer monitor, and you might put the ruler against a monitor of a computer. Or like if I wanted to measure the width of a student desk and lay the ruler against the desk, that kind of thing. All right, if we get 3 rulers, so I'd get 3 rulers and line them up, so get 3 kids to hold rulers side to side, we've made a yard or a yardstick. So I always like touched the ruler, so like this is 12 inches, I touch the next kid's ruler, another 12 inches, the third kid's ruler, 12 inches. So 12 plus 12 plus 12 is 36 inches, or 1, 2, 3 rulers, which is 3 feet. That builds a yardstick. What can you do to show me a yard? If you watch the video, you know. If not, they should open their arms wide. So it would be like this picture where their arms are open wide, although I tend to tell them to bend the wrist. Don't open the wrist, shut it. And then like from wrist to wrist is a yardstick. If you lined up 1,760 yardsticks, you'd make a mile. So I kind of open my arms up, and maybe I get a couple of kids to line up and open their arms side to side and say, okay, here's 5 kids with their arms open wide. This is about, notice I say about 5 yards. Well, you'd have to get 1,760 students or yardsticks with their arms open wide to make a mile. These are our United States units of length, width, and height. Today, we're going to concentrate on the metric ones. Metric units are actually much simpler. Why do we have to learn the metrics when they're not the United States systems? Well, one, they're universal. These are used around the entire world, everywhere. Well, again, why do we use them? Because we have customary. Well, because science around the world uses the metric system. That way, when you're talking about medicines or inventions, these scientists, these doctors are using the same system of measurement, the metric system. So that's why you have to learn them. And these are our metric units. Let's start with the smallest one and just highlight them as we say them as we highlight. Millimeters, millimeter. 10 of these become a centimeter. 100 centimeters build to a meter. 1,000 meters become a kilometer. So let's say these again. Millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer. What do you notice all of them say? Meter. That's right. So I'm going to circle that. Meter, 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 meter. The metric system is easy to know when you've got a metric unit, because a metric unit says meter. Metric, say it. Meter, say it. Metric, meter, M&Ms, meters, metrics. All right. Notice, too, that all of these, 1 is a 10, 1 is 100, 1 is 1,000, that it's all the number 1 with zeros. You're going to find that you like the metric system far better, which is going to make you hate our system even more, and it's going to make you want to find the fool who came up with the United States system and give him a good whacking. All right, metrics. Metric units say meter, millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, kilometer, hectometer. We don't have all those, but they all say meter. And these are our lengths, but you could also measure the width of the desk or the height of a desk. So it's length, it's width, it's height. We could even add depth, like how deep something is. At this point, I'd get up to go make sure they copied these notes while I was talking. So how wide, how long, how high, how deep, this is what we're talking about. All right, so we're going to make some connections between the systems. Blank and blank are on a ruler. So they're BFFs, close to blank from the customary system. I don't even know where I'm going with it. All right, what's on a ruler? Blank and blank are on a ruler. All right, millimeters, capital M, because it's the beginning of a sentence. 2 L's, millimeters, we want to be plural, there's more than one. And centimeters, centimeters, hard to write that small, are both on rulers. This centa right here, if you didn't know, cents, 100 cents are in $1. A centipede has 100 legs. Centa is 100, if you didn't know that prefix. So they're BFFs and close to the inch from our United States system. So let's break this down because that's just a lot of blah, blah, blah. Bless you. That's 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters. These are centimeters. I want y'all to highlight one itty bitty bitty space right there. That is a millimeter. Say millimeter. This itty bitty 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 tiny itty bitty 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 space, that's 1 millimeter. Millimeters are ridiculously tiny. So small. Millimeters. And I want y'all to count the set from 0 to 1. So let's kind of shade as we count with our pencil. 1, 2, do y'all see what I'm doing? Let's do it now all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 millimeters are in a centimeter. That's a set of 10, that's a set of 10, that's a set of 10, because if you remember fractional sets, same amount. This itty bitty hyphen is about the length of a millimeter. That's how long a millimeter would be, or that's how wide. Millimeters are ridiculously small. What would I measure with millimeters? Maybe the tip of this pencil, or this, like right here, this width. Basically, if it's less than a centimeter, I'd use millimeters. That would be the only time I would use a millimeter. I always like to flip the kids out. Oh yeah, check this out. Here we go. See this? Get myself an eyelash here. Yep, got me one. So then, they're like, really? Did you really put... So look. Oh, you got some mascara too. Isn't that pretty? Get off me. There we go. An eyelash. That thin little sliver, that would be about the width of a millimeter. They're so, so tiny. Look, I'm going to take my little eyelash and put it right there. Let's see if I don't lose it. Wee, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. See him? Look, that little bitty eyelash, let's see if I can direct it. Yep, there we go. And the kids think that's crazy. This is when you would tell kids, don't try this at home. Please do not pull out your eyelashes. Your mom and dad might not appreciate that. Or you might have an epic fail like Miss Pierce did one year, and I pulled out like 4 at a time in one class. That was not good. So see how that little bitty eyelash fits right there in a millimeter? It's crazy. That's how small they are. All right, so let's look at our ruler on our star chart. This little bitty space, I want y'all to shade in one little space. And I want us to label, this is a milli, 2 L's, meter, and singular. It's only 1 millimeter. Bye-bye, eyelash. Millimeter. Itty bitty bitty. And y'all remember how many I said were in a set? 10. So 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. That means 2 centimeters is a set of 10 plus 10. So 2 centimeters is 20 millimeters. So 1 centimeter holds 10. 2 centimeters hold 20 millimeters. 4 centimeters would hold, good, 40 millimeters. Y'all make sure y'all write mm with a period. Look at the TV, 10, 20, another 10, another 10. 4 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40. So 1 is 1 with a 0. 2 is 2 with a 0. 4 is 4 with a 0. 7 centimeters would be 70. Yep, a 7 with a 0 millimeters. Let me see if I can stump y'all. 11 would be, good, 110, because it'd be 11 with a 0. And 15 would be, yep, 150 millimeters. 15 with a 0. See, metrics are easy. So, if I were going to measure a pencil, well, I would use centimeters, right? But if I were going to measure the width of the lead, or the tip right here, it's like 1 millimeter wide. So if it's less than a centimeter, I'd be using it. Like a fly maybe, or an ant, millimeters. Maybe if I wanted to measure how long this word is, millimeters, itty bitty bitty. Now, centimeters are on a ruler, and on the other side of a ruler are inches. That's why we consider them BFFs. BFFs meaning they're close. Just think about, what does BFF mean? Yeah, your best friend. Well, you know why you're best friends with people? Because y'all are close to one another. You're not close as in the same like size. You're like close because you share things. Well, they're BFFs because they are close to the same size. Show me an inch. Hello, pen. Inches are on a ruler. Now, your pinky nail. This pinky nail, the length of it, right here, how long it is. The length of your pinky nail, that's about 1 centimeter. The length. And I can prove it because I can grab my ruler. See my pinky nail? I'm not talking about how wide it is. I'm talking about its length. Right there. See how my pinky nail fits in between 1? That's about 1 centimeter. Now, inches are bigger, but they're close. If I were going to measure this pencil in the United States, we would be using inches, the inches ruler. But if you went to science class, you would be using centimeters, the other side of the ruler. So because both of these are your ruler units, and millimeters are on the ruler too, but why am I not going to connect millimeters to inches? Why centimeters to inches versus millimeter to inch? Because they're closer, they're BFFs, inches or centimeters. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make that connection right here. So I'm going to highlight the unit inch, and I'm going to highlight centimeter. And I'm going to make a connection. Inches and centimeters are BFFs. They are close to the same side. Side, not side. Size. Close to the same size. They're easy to remember because they're both on the rulers. And so you can see how I've only answered one small section of my notes, but we've talked a lot. All right, moving on. So 10 millimeters make a centimeter. Well, according to my star chart, 100 centimeters build a meter, which makes sense because there are 100 cents in a dollar. Centipede, 100 legs. You gather up 100 centimeters and you have a meter stick, which is also about your arms open wide. About. Meter. M-E-T-E-R. A meter stick. Well, what unit of the United States was like your arms open wide? Look at our customary measurements. Hello, that's the wrong sheet. So show me an inch. Bam. What's a foot? A ruler. How many rulers make a yard? 3. How can you show me a yard? Open your arms up. So yardsticks are BFFs with meter sticks. If I'm going to use a yardstick to measure the whiteboard in the United States, then I'm going to use a meter stick to measure the whiteboard in science class, or, for that matter, anywhere else in the world. If you can learn the BFFs, measurement's easy. When I hear yardstick, I also think meter stick. They're both sticks. The meter is a little bit bigger than the yard. Inches are a little bit bigger than centimeters, but they're close, like best friends. They're close to the same size. So the BFF of the meter stick is the yardstick. So we're writing it on our notes. We're writing it on our star chart, because this is, and they should be writing on their personal chart that goes with them, no matter where they are. So when you open your arms open wide, you've got the meter stick or the yardstick. About, not exact. So if I were going to measure a hallway, would I want to go measure the hallway in millimeters, like an eyelash, or centimeters, or arms open wide meter sticks? Definitely would want to go down the hallway using meter sticks. It would take less time. That's if you're in the metric, the meter, the metric system of science. If you were in our United States system, it'd be the yardstick. BFF, sticks, they're both sticks. Then, if you gather up 1,000 meter sticks, you go to the kilometer or kilometer. Kilometer, kilometer, tomato, tomato, potato, potato, however you want to say it. So if you're going to go long distance between cities, or the height of a helicopter or airplane, the depth, how deep a sub could dive under the ocean, or if you run long distances or hike long distances, if you were anywhere else in the world, they go down the highways and they see kilometers. Kilo, K-I-L-O, meters. If you didn't know, kilo is 1,000. It takes 1,000 meter sticks to make a kilometer. Well, what do we go down the highway with? Miles. So guess what? Miles and kilometers are BFFs. They are close to the same size. Just like best friends are close to one another. So I'm going to grab the mile and the kilometer. And miles and kilometers are BFFs. You might even write off to the side, mile BFF, if yours is crowded like mine. So if we're going down the highway in miles, they're going down the highway in the rest of the world in kilometers. If you've ever been to Mexico, you've seen that. Now, there's a song that I can sing to help me with the metric system. And the kids always like this system. It's crazy. So I first tell them the tune. So it's to an old song. It goes, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey, 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 goodbye. I'm going to make my husband hold this. Hopefully he only stays upper body. You hear me? Husband of mine. Do you hear me? Yes, he says yes. Okay, he says don't look at him. So, millimeter, right here, this little space between centimeter decimeter, which you don't have to do in 4th grade. You're not done. Then there's meter, like your arms open wide. Kilometer down the highway. Hey, 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 aren't metrics fun? So again, it's millimeter, centimeter, decimeter. We're not done. Then there's meter, like a meter stick. Kilometer down the highways. Hey, 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 aren't metrics fun? And you could use this song. So like if they asked me to measure the length of a straw, millimeter, centimeter, decimeter would be really great, but we don't do that in 4th grade. We're not done. Then there's meter. Okay, the meter is way too big for this. So you would use centimeters. If they wanted me to measure the length of the building, would I want to go by the length of the building in millimeters? Heck no. Centimeter. Do you want to go down the building centimeter by centimeter? No. Decimeter. We're not done. So we could go down the length of the building in meters, like meter sticks. Or should we use kilometers, which would be 1,000 meter sticks, like down the road? Meter sticks. So you can use the song to help you reason your distances. And they like that. And then they'll be singing it all day. All right, so I'd ask the whole class to read my directions. Oh, look, it's a metricy unit. A metricy unit. See, that's when I'd make fun of myself in class. Everybody choose a metricy unit. No. Metric unit. Well, remember, when we're talking about units, they're wanting you to say millimeter or centimeter or meter or kilometer. Which unit of the metric system makes the most sense? All right, so so-and-so, read this one. Okay, what are we looking for? The width of pencil eraser. So how wide an eraser is. So we could use the song. Do we want to go across this in millimeters, centimeter? Well, is the eraser 1 centimeter in length? If it is, great, but I don't think it is. So if it's not 1 centimeter, then you would want to choose millimeter. 2 L's, millimeter. And just like yesterday, you need to write the unit and then abbreviate it so they kind of can see both. And once you've written it one time, we'll abbreviate. I also point out the star charts. They have the abbreviations. Don't get confused meter with millimeter. Millimeter, mm. Meter, meter. All right, read the next one, class. Okay, what are we looking for? The length of a football field. Well, are you going to go down the football field in millimeters, centimeters, decimeter? We don't use in 4th grade. Then you've got meter, like your arms open wide, or kilometers, going way down a highway. Football field. Should be meters. I always ask the kids, okay, fill in the blank. If you've been to a football game, this is something you're going to hear. All right, the football player just gained 10 yards. Now, metrics don't use the yardstick. But if you're going to use the yardstick, you're also going to use his BFF, the meter stick in the metric system. Some kids get confused with this because they think about the laps around the football field. Well, if you do 4 laps, then you're in miles or kilometers, but we're not there. All right, I want y'all to skim the next one by yourselves. All right, and what should we highlight? The distance, ride, bike, 30 minutes. If you ride your bike for 30 minutes, do you think you've gone 1 millimeter, 1 centimeter, meters, or do you think you've gone kilometers? It's definitely meters, but it's so many meters it becomes kilo, K-I-L-O, kilometers, km. Kilometers are the BFFs to miles down the road. If you're riding for 30 minutes or walking 30 minutes or more, you're definitely going miles and kilometers. All right, what should we highlight on the next one? Yes, we're looking for the height of a door. So millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, we're not done. What about meter, open arms, or I point down the highway? Which one? Meters is right. To measure a door, I would use a meter stick, which in our system would be a yard stick. All right, last one. I want to measure the length of an ant. An ant, like an itty bitty ant. Yes, millimeter. Millimeter. Now, before we move on, I'm going to test you on some language. Why did we use the article an in front of ant? Why didn't we say a ant? And I don't want to hear because it makes more sense. It's because if your word starts with a vowel, A-E-I-O-U, you use an in front of it. All right, so class, read the directions for the next set. All right, convert. If we're converting, what does that mean we're doing? This is like 3 or 4 days in a row now. Convert means to change. I want to change centimeters to meters. I want to convert. I want to convert meters to centimeters. Well, we could use a T-chart. Let's throw our T-chart. Looks like a T. What do y'all think we should label? Yes, one side. One side should be meter. The other should be centimeter. All right, what do we know about meters and centimeters off of our star chart? Well, that's not meter and centimeter. Here it is. 100 centimeters, 1 meter. Make sure you match it up. 100 centimeters is 1 meter. Well, and I'm going to start with 1 because it just makes more sense to count from ones. If 1 is 100, then 2 would be, 200. 1 is 1, 2 is 2, adding the 2 zeros because hundreds have 2 zeros. So 1 is 100, 2 is 200, 3 is 300. So stop. 300 centimeters is the same thing as 3 meter sticks. Now watch, once we know the pattern, we want 7 meters, right? Don't get ahead of me because some kids are not as fast. Let's build this. We want 7 meters. 1, 100. Y'all say it with me. 2, 200. 3, 300. 5 would be 500. 7 is going to be 700. So 7 meters is 700 centimeters. And then the kids are like, man, this is so easy. Agreed. Metric is way easier. All right, over here, let's use a ruler. So we want to convert centimeters to millimeters. Well, how many millimeters are in 1 centimeter? If you don't remember, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are millimeters. And there are 10 in a set. Look back at our rulers. 1 centimeter holds 10. 2 centimeters is 2 tens, which is 20. 3 centimeters is 3 tens, which would build 30. So 5, 1 is 10, 2 is 20, 3 is 30, 4 is 40, 5 would be 50. Because this is 10, let's count. 20, 30, 40, 50. That's because every 1 centimeter holds 10 millimeters. Okay? Now this one's a little trickier. I want to know how many centimeters. 20 millimeters. 20 millimeters. Where are the millimeters on here? Yeah, they're the itty bitty spot. How many are right here? 10. How many are right here? No, there are not 20 here. How many are here? 10. 10 plus 10 makes 20 millimeters, which is the same as 2 centimeters. Converting. Okay. Now we're going to go into some word problems. So girls, read us about Morgan. So they're reading. I had to get a drink. What are we looking for, boys? We're looking for centimeters. Is that? Well, what is that? The width of her closet. And they found it was 80 millimeters wide. How many centimeters is that? This is centimeters. They want centimeters, but we're in millimeters. So what do we need to do? Yes, convert. Let's write it. Read it, write it, say it. We're going to convert centimeters to millimeters. So what's a good way of doing that? A T-chart? True. So I also could draw a ruler, couldn't I? Check this out. This just came to me. A ruler's a number line, right? You've got 0. And here's 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters. I don't know how many centimeters, right? Well, how many of those little millimeters are in a centimeter? 10. What if I don't remember that? Well, I can look right here on my ruler, or I can look on a star chart and it tells me right here a centimeter has 10. So 1 has 10, 2 have 20, 3 have 30, 4 would make 40 because that'd be 10, 20, 30, 40. 5 centimeters would be, yep, 50. 6 centimeters would be, yes, 60. 7 centimeters would be 70. Yep, 8 centimeters would be 80. So 8 millimeters is the same thing as 8 centimeters. You could have done this in a T-chart. The ruler just made sense to me because I was looking at it. All right, boys, I want y'all to read us about Tristan, please. So they read. All right, girls, summarize. What are we looking for? We're looking for altogether centimeters measured. Well, all together. If you want them all together, do you want some of them or all of them? Yeah, you want all of them, which means we need a whole amount. To get a whole amount, do we get big or small? Yeah, if you're putting a whole pizza, you're getting bigger. So we either add or repeatedly add. Well, what did we measure? Tristan measures things around his room. He measured a tissue box, a Hot Wheel car, a bookshelf, and the width of an Xbox game. And what do they want us to measure it with? Centimeters. All right, is the tissue box centimeters? Excellent. Is the Hot Wheel car centimeters? Yes. Oh no, dun dun dun. What about the Xbox? Yep, that's centimeters. But the bookshelf is in meters. So if they want centimeters and you're in meters, you're going to have to convert. Meters. Draw you 4 meter sticks. Meter, 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 meter stick. How many cents are in a dollar? 100. There are 100 centimeters in every meter stick. If you don't know that or don't remember the cents, you don't have to memorize it. It says it, 1 meter, 100 centimeters. So if you have 4 meters, what do you have? Yeah, you have 400 centimeters. So the answer is 400. Crash and burn if they let you do that. Hopefully some kids go, no, that's just this. 4 meters is now 400. But he measured the bookcase. And let's do this right here. 15 plus 2. That's 17. And then we also have the 6. We need all of the objects together. I know 6 plus 6 is 12, so one more than that is a 13. 1 plus 1 is 2. Drop your 4. 423 centimeters in all. 423. We're going to record it and bubble. Dark, neat circles. All right, last one. I'm going to read it. Y'all fill in the numbers as I read. So you do that. Blah, blah, blah. All right, what are we looking for? What do we summarize? Will she have room for all animals? Justify your response, which means prove it. So if I ask, will she have room? If I say, will she have room? There's only two things you can say. You can either say yes or no. This is what most kids forget. They do all the work to prove it, but they never say yes or no. She says she will have room. Oh dear. So she's measuring the length of stuffed animals. Her teddy bear is 18 centimeters. There's a dog, there's a snake. And she plans to place them on a ledge that is 2 meters long. So your ledge is 2 meters long. Well, what are you putting on there? You're putting teddy bear, which is 18 centimeters. And dog, which is 44 centimeters. And snake, which is 112 centimeters. What's the problem here? I know that I've got centimeters. So what do y'all think we should do? Add. Yeah, I think that's good. Part plus part plus part. Do I want to add horizontally? No, I want to add vertically. So 112, 44, 18. So that's 10 plus 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. So altogether, her stuffed animals are going to take up 174 centimeters. Can I answer the question, does she have room? I can't. Why? Yeah, we're in centimeters, but they're in meters. Well, look up here. Meters. 2 meter sticks is how many centimeters? 200. So this 2 meter ledge is the same thing as 200 centimeters. Right there is my work. How much room do the animals take up? 174 centimeters. How much room does she have? 200. Does she have enough room? Yes. How do you know? Well, I know because 174 centimeters is less, 1 dot is less than 200 centimeters. That's how I know. On the assignment tomorrow, you'll see where there were some that had stars by them. Those are ones I would do with the students.